Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chord Dave and welcome to Chord Dave Live number 98. Welcome. If it's your first Chord Dave Live experience, please strap yourself in and make sure you're subscribed and say hello, because you got to be subscribed before we will allow you to say hello. So please do that. Yeah, it's Saturday. It's been another wild, crazy, wacky week in the world of three chords. So I hope you are doing well, my friend. Thanks for joining us, and sláinte it to you wherever you may be. Ah, yes, that is hitting the spot. The old San Miguel, still around. I enjoy it. The memories and the beer that it brings. Yeah, lots of stuff to talk about guitar wise and stuff. If you're not on the Facebook page or following me on Instagram, you may not have seen the Adam Jones Epiphone, the new one that's coming out, the next one that's coming out, which apparently is slated for November the 15th. Which seems a bit soon after the last one, but that's what we're being told. Let me know your thoughts if you've seen it. It's got artwork on the front and the back of this one. I'll tell you my opinion later. Let me know what else you think has been cool this week as well. And let's dig into it in the chat. Scott Bogfoot, of course, was here first because he's always here first. We did open the chat a little bit later than usual, just because it's been getting kind of difficult to keep up with y'all. So, which is good. I just, have to try and mitigate it somehow. Rob F is also here. Great to see you, Rob. Hope you're doing well, my friend. And James Severin is also here nice and early. Great to see you, James. Hope you're well, my Irish brother, in fact. Great to see you. Scott Brower's here. Great to see you, Scott. Hope you're well, my friend. Grandpa Joe says, greetings, Dave and crew. I will say hello now as I'll be listening while driving. So wish everyone to have a safe weekend. Grandpa Joe, you stay safe on those roads out there, man. And yeah, glad to have you with us listening along as always. Chris from Coburg says, Parma Rosa chicken with basmati rice is on the menu. And beer. Three Chord Dave, do you own the Behringer Super Fuzz? I do. Yeah, I've had it quite a while now. It's a cool pedal. I've been waiting a year to get mine and it just came in outstanding. Cheers. Indeed, sir. Cheers. That is worth celebrating. A cheap, good pedal. I do like those. I really should start using pedals more, learning more about them. But, then I will have no money whatsoever. So let's see how that goes. Scott Bogfoot is reminding you, of course, you have to be subscribed. If you're a new person, to wait 1 minute, then after you subscribe, then you'll be able to chat in the chat room here to all the cool folks and all the not so cool folks also, just all the folks that are here. Yeah, let's dig into some more chat. I think that's most of the hellos out of the way. Chris says, going to play Jazzmaster for the next 18 minutes. See you soon. I presume that was a while ago. But sounds cool. Sounds cool. Jazzmaster is an underrated guitar, even if I don't like those offset shapes all that much. The Jazzmaster is the one I would go for, I think, if I was to change my mind, which maybe I will. Who knows? Let me see. We've had lots of YouTube comments and stuff this week. Some of them positive, some of them negative. It's always interesting when you become a YouTuber to see how people's opinions differ and how they go on. It's all fun and games. Let me know some of your favorite guitar stories of this week, if you've seen any interesting ones or cool things in the chat as well, guys. Just want to know what you guys are thinking about what's going on in the guitar world. I think early November, which is coming up from next week, is going to be crazy. I think there's a lot of things coming out, so just in time to catch the holiday market. So let's see if any of those predictions are true. Yeah, all right, cool. Rob says, Chris McGower played my Strat earlier today for an hour or so when everyone was away. It's good. Yeah, man, it's nothing wrong with getting to play for an hour and not having anyone else around. In my case, to listen to it, which would be great. There you go. Chris says, nice. I was playing some sweet hillbilly licks on my Strat earlier today, trying clean tones. The thing is, now that I have a Super Fuzz pedal, clean tones are not gonna last. Yeah, because it's not fun. The Super Fuzz is a lot of fun to play around with, from my experience. My uneducated experience. Let's call it that. I think it's fair to say. And Rob says, practiced 4 to 8 this morning, clean and low volume. This afternoon, it was time to move some air. Turning up the volume, got some lovely amp distortion out of the baby hybrids. Very cool, Rob. Sounds like you had a good time with your guitars today. Yeah, that's awesome. Guitar time is important to cut out your day. And I find it very difficult to at the minute. But hey, life is running pretty fast right now. Um, as Ferris Bueller said, life comes at you pretty fast if you don't slow down and take it in, or whatever it was he said. I haven't got the whole script memorized. How hard is it to engrave pick guards, truss rod covers? I mean, to make it look like it's done from factory. I mean, it's just plastic, so it shouldn't be too difficult. Engraving is a difficult art in the first place. It's a difficult skill. It looks easy, but it's not super easy. But if you're good at engraving, yeah, I mean, it'll be no problem to you because it's just plastic. However, yeah, I don't know, super cheap pick guards probably not a good idea. They will probably, I know, melt and stuff a lot worse, but probably easy enough. You're good at doing it already, engraving other things, Scott. Because it's just plastic at the end of the day. Um, Chris says, sounds like my kind of day. I have an apartment, so I have to ease the neighbors into it slowly. They've all gotten used to it. Well, there you go. Yeah. Yeah. When I lived in an apartment, I was very sketchy about playing guitar um, loudly. Now, I mean, my neighbors on this side, that side, or a little bit further, but this side are like, I don't know, 10 feet away, and I don't care. Uh, because their ball keeps coming in my field. My garden. It's not a field, it's very small. Um, feel like that's going to be clipped up. Oh well. But anyway, I play guitar, they kick balls into my garden. Anyways, uh, Rob says, I've taken to using my 3 Series Face Fuzz clone into my Tumnus clone for all my practice scales. Sounds like a lot of fun. And Buglips is here. Great to see you, Buglips. Hope you're well, man. Says, pity the trophy shop that was by you is gone. They had all the equipment for that. I presume you mean engraving all the thingies for your guitars. Yeah, that was that they would have all the engraving stuff at trophy places. Um, I mean, you can do it with a Dremel. If you want to like get a stencil and a Dremel, I don't know. Actually, a stencil might not be a good idea. Just get good at using your Dremel. There's an engraving thing you can use for that, I think. If you have a Dremel, of course. That's the first step. Chris McCoby says, Fuzz Face is legendary and awesome. Fuzz Faces are pretty cool. Some cool people use them. Not Chord Dave, not yet, but hey, someday. Rob says, I'm lucky that my wife and kids are heavy sleepers, so I can actually practice every morning before the house wakes up. Well, there you go. That gives you plenty of time to practice. That's cool, man. Scott says, are vintage Fuzz Faces the same as the new ones? Looks smaller than I thought in my mind. I don't think they are the same. I mean, they're probably similar, but there's always going to be people who say the old ones are way better and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know. It was a different world, the programming and stuff they were doing back then. So probably not quite the same. DMAC is here. Great to see you, DMAC. Hope you're doing well. My friend Buglip says, of course, the reason it's no longer there is because the dude working was an idiot. So maybe you wouldn't want him to do it. Anyway, I mean, as idiots go, I don't know that guy, but I'm going to agree with you. Plenty of idiots here on YouTube. By the way, plenty of people think I'm an idiot on YouTube, which is fine. I have no problems with that whatsoever because it's true in some in some situations. Dunlop makes smaller and regular sized fuzz faces. My 3 Series JHS fuzz is a silicone version of the circuit that Josh Scott, a favorite mod, adding a bias pot. Interesting stuff indeed. Yeah, pedals I really need to get into pedals more and understand them more. So maybe 2024, who knows? As Scott says, did he do stuff freehand or with a reducer machine? I don't know. Marsha's here, says, hey, great to see you, Marsha. Hope you and Huey are doing well. Scott says, Rob, I've just seen the mini ones, and laugh emoji. So I presume They're not good. Al is here. Great to see you, Al. Hope you're well, my friend. Yeah, it's always great when Al is in the chat. Booglip says they had freehand tools and machines. The owner put his brother-in-law to work there or something, ran the place into the ground. Yeah, good when you sucks when you put your family in charge of something and they do that. I have no experience of that, but still awful. Marcia says, nice to see everyone. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. DMAX says, just finished watching Anderton's Gibson factory tour video. For some reason, I want a new Gibson. Damn influencers. Yes, damn the influencers. Who do they think they are? That being said, San Miguel beer. It is a tasty beer that is tasty. Cheers. I wonder why those advertising contracts aren't just flowing into this channel. But hey. Oh, Marcia says mostly good to see everyone. Oh, okay. So we got some beef flying around. I need to cut my beard. It's starting to tickle my nose again. And my mustache, shall we say. So yeah, sorry if you see me looking like I'm scratching my nose all the time. It's kind of driving me insane. Al says, what's up, Rob? Any idea when Dylan will upgrade your Les Paul? I think he had it in the video this week. I did see a little bit of it. I'm sure you saw that. Interesting, comparing it to a Slash signature Gibson Les Paul. Yeah, interesting stuff from Dylan there. Rob says, just checked Sweetwater. The full-size Dunlop fuzz face is 7.5 inch by 8 inch. The mini is 5 inch by 3.5 inch. I mean, if we're going to start talking about inches, there's a difference there. So there we go. Good stuff. You know what I missed there? William Forrest is here. Great to see you, William. Hope you are doing well, my friend. Hope all is going well in your part of the world. By the way, there's a huge amount of rain falling here. If at any point the stream just stops out of nowhere, it's because the heavy rain has disconnected everything. I don't think that's going to happen. Just, it's kind of wild outside right now. I'm sure it'll be fine. Marcia says, so we are losing an hour tonight in the US, aren't we? We are in Ireland, so it won't affect the next stream. It shouldn't, at least, because there's always confusion the week after the clocks change. But I thought it was next week for the US, no? Because that's something I have to deal with my job, and they didn't mention it this week. Anyways, hopefully it all switches over at the same time. That would make my life easier next week. So I hope so. I mean, maybe it wouldn't. People will be giving out. No one's prepared for anything. Okay, it won't be. But there we are. Yeah, it's changing here tonight. So it's all good. DMAX says, I think the time changes next week. Let's find out. Just to make sure, because I'm kind of getting excited. When is daylight? Is it daylight savings? Yeah. Whoever came up with this idea was stupid, by the way. So it is here. Tonight it's changing, and Sunday, November 5th in the United States. So I'd imagine the rest of North America as well. But yeah, here in Europe, I presume, all of Europe, we are going and changing our clocks tonight. So yeah, just remember that next week. I'll be setting it for 10 o'clock, and you guys will probably be thinking I'm late or whatever. So yeah, we're changing it tonight. You're changing next week. Damn it. So we got a lot of work to do next week in work. It's okay. Glenn Bailey's here, says, hello, my family. And hello, Glenn. How are you, my friend? Always good to see you. I hope tonight's the first time in a long time you got a timeout, because, it feels like your signature and it hasn't happened for you in a while. No, my friend, no timeouts, unless you really step out of line. Glenn says, I thought we changed time next week. Turns out you do, according to Google. Anyway, Chris says, chug a lug. I am not a dancing monkey, sir. Not at all. But I will perform for you, obviously. Booglip says, I want to change the time to 25 years ago. I think, maybe that would be good. See, 25 years ago is what, 1998? Yeah, I could go back to 1998. There's things I would like to affect differently since 1998, mostly my bank balance. Yeah. Who else would be buying Bitcoin at like 3 cents? Um, I would. Uh, Ryan, I saw this comment. I'm not sure what you were talking about. It says Dave's late. I think a bear got him. I think I might have been like 3 seconds later than usual pressing the button, Ryan. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But it's always great to see you in the chat, my friend. So, so yeah, apologies for the lateness. Mar says, wait, you're right. I saw Ola England post about the time change today. But he's in Europe, isn't he? So maybe he's not. I think so. Glenn says, cheers, Dr. Evil Wrench. I like the Jackson vid. It's such a such a interesting way to put that. Yeah, it was a cool video. Scott's kicking ass over there on his channel, doing some great stuff. I like when he sits on the couch and says, I'm Scott Bogfoot, and this is the guitars, or this is my only guitars. I like it. It's so cool. I dig it. Anyways, the best looking person on the board, Chord Dave, said I was not late. I'm gonna throw it out there. Best looking male bald person with a beard, a long beard, called Dave, who's from Ireland, in the chat. Best looking one. I got that tied down, no problem. Ryan says the timer was at 0 for ages. Well, it shouldn't have been. So damn YouTube with its nonsense. But yeah, the stream was started on time on the thing, so probably just YouTube being YouTube all over again. Apologies for that. Anyways, Rob says beautiful day here in Mid-Atlantic, 78F25C. Bit crazy though. Grandkids and nieces, kids are visiting. Total of 10 kids running around. That is 10 kids too many, sir. I jest. It's like 9 too many. But yeah, all good. Hope you're enjoying that experience. Excuse me. Glenn says Dave was late again. I heard. Yeah, he's just baiting me to give him a timeout every single week. He's like, give me a timeout. Give me a timeout. I'll do it, my friend. Don't you worry. But yeah, thank you, Glenn, for that. And let me catch up on the comments. I thought there was like 10 comments left, and then bang, a whole load of them. And where was I? His stream is set to remind me at 3 a.m. Eastern instead of 2 a.m. like usual. Ola's stream? I would imagine that's because Europe is changing tonight. But you guys are going to be a week late, as usual. With the time change, I mean. Hello, Chord Dave. Hope your weekend is going well, says Rob. Thanks, Rob. I appreciate it. The weekends are... I mean, we have a 3-day weekend this week, so it's not too bad. Don't have to go to work till Tuesday. Have some things planned. Woke up this morning and my car was completely dead. So it's kind of screwed all my plans. It's back up and running now, but yeah, that took up a lot of time. And, you know, monies. So it's just life, man. Oh, I just need to change this back. Sorry, guys. There we go. So I can see everything on my side properly. Ben Allmark's here. Great to see you. Ben says, howdy, Dave and friends. Indeed. Thanks to you, Ben, for popping in and for being one of our friends. Richard Clark's here, says, I almost missed it, man. My priorities are effed. I was going to do dumb shit like pay bills or fix my heat. Yeah, paying bills is dumb, but fixing heat, you need that. So yeah, don't worry about doing that. Is my heat still on? It is. Okay, cool. Because, you know, it's getting late. Might shut off. Scott says, hey, Buglips, do you remember double daylight saving time? That shit was nuts. You guys live in a weird part of the world, my friend. Rob says, Marsha, I was just checking around 3 p.m. Eastern time for the live stream. Thumbnail, not thumbnail. Anyways, the old hazard of an Irish accent. Buglips says, yes, at the same time, it was as the sprung greenhouse every morning I went to school in a lurid orange glow. You guys live in a weird part of the world, man. But we love you. It's all good. Marcia says, someone needs to do something about these time changes. They confuse the hell out of everyone. Either we all do it at the same time, same days, or we just need to do away with it. The problem is, there are places, Arizona doesn't change, I believe. I've come across that in my work. Or parts of Arizona or something. Arizona's weird, man. I've never been to Arizona. I don't really know if I ever will. Hopefully, maybe. It seems like a cool place. But yeah, they don't. I don't think they do. And maybe somewhere in Alaska, or maybe I'm wrong about that. But anyway, there are places that don't use it or are not going to do daylight savings anymore going forward after this year. Um, Hopefully, yeah, you can all get on the same page as whatever we do in Ireland. That'd make it easy for me, please. Thank you. DMAX says Europe does their time change a week or so different from North America. Dave should be able to tell us. Yeah, well, according to Google, tonight for us, next week for you guys. So it's all just going to be confusing. Ben Omar says, hi, Rob, Marcia, and everyone, because he's a nice person who says hello to everyone. When he's hurt, says, wait, are we changing clocks again? WTF? Yeah, man, every 6 months or so. It happens, or maybe 7 months, I don't know. But yeah, it's March and October. And we're at the end of October already. So yeah, New Year is racing up behind us. Before we run too far ahead, don't forget, this is episode number 98 of Chord Dave Live. It's been wild and crazy, and I can't believe we're nearly at 100. We have 2 more shows. I did mention before, we're not going to be doing a live stream next week. Actually, that will be really handy now because the time zone thing will just not be affecting us. But yeah, I have to take next week off from the live stream because some family stuff. And then it'll be a straight run to episode 100. So it'll be episode 99 in 2 weeks and then episode 100. If any of you guys have been withholding like rock star relatives, like if any of you are friends with or are slash, just reach out, let me know. That would be cool. We could do a little interview on the 100th live stream. I am trying to get some stuff together, which will be cool. I don't know if I can get any of it or all of it or some of it together, but I am trying. And that week also off will give me an extra week to try and do it. So yeah, let me know if you guys have Slash's phone number. That'd be fantastic. Or Duff McKagan's phone number. That'd be super cool too. My 2 dream interviews. So yeah, let me know. And yeah, as I said, just let's just remember, no live stream next week because we're nearly at 100 and there's some preps and stuff to do, and I got family stuff to do next week. So that's all. Marcia says, Dave, I was note late usually means they're guilty of being late. Listen, just ignore typos, please. That's fine. Glenn says every Saturday feels like the first time. I'm glad we're so special to you, Glenn. You never forget your first time when it's every single time. We love you, Glenn. We do. We love you. My name's Hurt says, howdy, folks. Howdy to you, sir. And so we got Scott says, from Paradise Sprung was a second sunrise that never ended. Sounds good. Sounds good. I still sounds weird. Only freezing here today, 0 degrees Celsius or 32 Fahrenheit. Yeah, those are temperatures I don't like. Corey is here. Great to see you, Corey. Says, hey gang, hope everyone had a great week. Don't forget to smash all the important buttons for Dave. Indeed, smash all my buttons, please. Thanks, Corey. It's great to see you, and always great to see your work on the Facebook group. If you want to have a good reason to check out the Facebook group, Corey is that reason. He posts some cool pictures of guitars he's working on all the time, and it's really cool to see. So yeah, we have a Facebook group. It's linked in all the videos. If you want to join us, cool. If you don't have Facebook, because Facebook is awful, then I applaud you. Don't join the group or set up a fake profile just to come to our group. It's all good. Anyways, yeah, some cool stuff going on over there. And that's where you can see, one of the places you can see those Adam Jones ones with the bees on the front. I don't know what they're doing. I don't think they know what they're doing. It's a whole thing. Yeah, I don't think they will. Glenn Bailey says, hey, Corey, happy birthday, sir. Corey, happy birthday to you, sir. Glad you're sharing part of your birthday with us. And yeah, happy birthday. And thanks, Glenn, for pointing that out so we could collectively share a happy birthday with Glenn. Very nice. Let me see. Hit the thumbs up, says Marsha. Indeed. I saw somebody say something. Al says, strange thing just happened. I was in this chat. The video was from 89, number 89, WTF with YouTube. See, man, YouTube is just the worst. I shouldn't say that. If I want them to start putting viewers in my direction, I should not say that they're the worst, but they are the worst. Al, that is very weird. Hopefully that has straightened itself out for you now. But yeah, yeah. This chat put a number 89 video. That's weird. I don't know how they managed to do that one. My knees hurt says, I'm drinking Kilt Lifter Ale 7.9% and making tacos. Hopefully that's not a result of the Kilt Lifter, but you know, I enjoy tacos, so I hope you enjoy yours. Buglip says, I lived across the street from Sprung. It was like living on the sun 24/7. I mean, it's got to be annoying, I guess. Super hot, super bright. You know, explosions all the time. Not the most comfortable places to live across the street from. Glenn Bailey says, mitigate big words, man. Too much. Sorry, man. It's, you know, it's been one of those weeks. It's been a big word week around me. It's been a big word like 3 weeks. So all the people I work with have been getting big words lately. Like asshole and jerk and fucking idiot. I mean, I don't say them directly to them, but that's what I've been thinking. I just want to know what you. I'm not gonna give away anything about where I work or anything or say anything negative about their products. I just want to know why, if let's say somebody within a company, and let's not say one person, let's say like 40% of the people who work for the company are like, this is a big problem. We need to fix this. Why everyone who can fix it ignores it, and then says, why are we losing customers? Because your product needs to be fixed, my friend, and they don't fix it. Anyway, I'm not talking badly about my workplace. It's a beautiful workplace. You have a brilliant product and they're wonderful and they've never done a bad thing ever. Rob says, this week's Les Paul news. Last Monday, Dylan compared my Epi with his Gibson /LP. Very in-depth comparison. Next up, I'm expecting the Graphtech tuner. Saddle and bridge upgrades. I see what you did there. Yeah, it was interesting. Like, he opened up the video saying, I don't like the Gibson is far superior to the Epiphone. I'm like, is it? I mean, I do think it's superior. Far superior? I don't know. I mean, I thought it looked great side by side. If you took the headstocks out of the picture, I think a lot of people would guess the Epiphone was the Gibson. Obviously, you still have the visual indicators that people more experienced will spot. People like you guys in the chat here and myself sometimes. But yeah, it's one of those things where I think the Epiphone looked and sounded pretty good. Just my own opinion. I thought it did sound pretty good up against this. The Slash Gibsons do sound great though. That's always been my thoughts on those ones. Scott Bogfoot says, hey Dave, I damaged the new Bonamassa already. Already, man. Well, not really. What I need to get the tenon cover engraved. The custom on them is a decal and I scraped it off accidentally. Are you serious? The custom on the tenon cover is a decal? That sucks, man. Why would they? What? That is the most ridiculous thing. I didn't know that. The good news is Thomann have them back in stock. So if you want to buy one off Thomann, get it shipped to you, replace the pickguard and tenon cover, or tenon cover is separate, isn't it? Just replace the tenon cover and send it back to them and say there's something wrong with it. You shouldn't do that because that's not right, but you could. But Scott, that is terrible, man. I hope you do get now I know why you wanted the engraving information. Hopefully somebody nearby, or even you with a bit of practice will be able to do it. Yeah, don't dive into it. Engraving is harder than it looks. I have found, to my detriment at times. But I'll talk about that in a future episode. Glenn Bailey says, pedals, all you need to learn about them is to step on them, turn the knobs till you're happy, and go. No, Glenn, it's not. I need to know which ones work with each other, which ones you put front in the chain and all that sort of stuff. And I don't know nothing about pedals, like not one thing. Um, yeah, so I mean, I know to start to press on the thing with the, and then turn the thingies, but I need to learn more about them for sure. Al says, got a pedal Karma ODR 10, supposed to be an exact copy of Tim Pierce's Nobel's ODR 1 from the 90s. Haven't had a chance to try it. Sounds cool, Al. Definitely when you try that out, let us know how it sounds. Definitely sounds like a cool one. I am getting ready to buy a Fender Strat, says Richard Clark. I really want nitro, so I think it almost has to be a road worn. Also, kinda want Olympic white and a maple board, but those aren't deal breakers. Any thoughts, guys? Fender road worn Strats are pretty cool. I'm not the biggest, what do you call them, Relics fan, but or road worn fan, but there's something more appealing to them now after talking to a lot of you guys about the whole relic thing, and when I made a video a couple of years ago, probably 3 years ago now, about like not understanding really the relic phenomenon. And a lot of guys talk a lot of sense, and this in the comment section people were like telling me why they like I think I've said this before in the live streams, like telling me why they like relics over non-relic guitars, and a lot of it makes a lot of sense. So yeah, I think the road worn series is where I will go when I do decide to get a road worn relic guitar of some kind, unless of course there's a less expensive version of the Murphy Lab. In that case, if they had a similar priced level of relic Gibsons, I might be swung to that side of the fence. But yeah, I don't think they're going to do anything that's more budget friendly for guitarists, only for guitar company owners. And to that, I will say cheers. Matt Van Bosch is here. Great to see you, Matt. Hope you're well, my friend. Yeah, always great to see you in the chat. And Richard says, Al, will you let us know after you play with that pedal? I'm sure he will. Sure he will. Yeah, always willing to help us out and from our experience. My knees hurt says engraving with a machine is much easier than doing it by hand. I mean I have no experience doing it with a machine, but yeah, by hand it's quite difficult. So I hope you're right. I'm sure you are. I'm sure you have way more experience than I do. Corey says, anybody working on anything today? I'm in the process of installing a dime booker with a hot rail in a Kramer Striker for a client today. Very cool, Corey. I haven't been working. I'm setting up my desk here later tonight for tomorrow's session of just cleaning all my guitars. It's that time where it's time to clean them all, give them a nice bit of the old lemon oil and stuff, and stuff that's in there behind Lemmy, the Dunlop polish and stuff like that all over the guitars. So yeah, that'll be most of tomorrow. After, I mean, I still have 3 or 4 things I got to do before I get to that tomorrow, but that's what I will be setting up after the stream. Sorry, that's saying something stupid. Not in the comments. YouTube's telling me something stupid. That all looks good to me. All right, never mind YouTube being stupid. Ryan says, Richard, the vintage 261, I guess, is another option for the Nitro Strat with the maple fretboard. Yeah, that would be a good option. I think, yeah, those are pretty cool. I haven't got to play one yet because I don't go to guitar stores too often. But yeah, they do look pretty cool. Moniz here says CNC machine. It's one way of getting your guitar to be the dimensions you want it to be. Yeah, just dial it in and off you go. DMAX says, Rob, I really like Dylan's vid comparing LPs with your guitar. Your axe is going to be cool with the mods. Indeed. We will look forward to seeing the end products, I'm sure, once he's got it all together. Probably depends what your engraving money's hurt, says Marsha. I mean, I'd imagine a machine would be great, or a CNC, as money's hurt says that they would do it too, but quite an investment just for one tenon cover. I can't believe it was a decal, man. That is ridiculous. But there you go. Jess says, hey Dave, I've just been out for a Chinese banquet, so might not last long before a food coma. Jess, I'm jealous. Wish I was at a banquet. It sounds delightful. Thanks for joining us and having the what you call it the good graces to tell us about your impending food coma. Hope you're still here. My knees hurt says to Corey, I've been doing all kinds of stupid chores and making tacos. Yeah, stupid chores. I hate them. Eric Hinesley says, hey, good to see you, Eric. Hope you're well, man. And my knees hurt says, my neighbors are far away, but I don't need to hear my, but I don't need them to hear my horrible guitar playing more louder. I like them hearing my horrible guitar playing. Can you guess that we don't really talk to our neighbors? they're not, they're not, I mean, the landlord said they're super friendly. I don't think they're great. But I'm very picky, and they're not the neighbors I dreamed of. Jess says, what did you think of the B on the front of the new Adam Jones? I guess I should show it. I guess I can get it. Let me see if I can find the image. I should have it on the hard drive here. Let's see. Is it a download? Where did I save that one? I don't like it. It's kind of like someone put a sticker on your guitar and you can't take it off, and you don't like it, but you no choice. Oh God, where is it? So when I pop into this menu, it doesn't show up as the most recent for some stupid reason. Thanks, Apple. All right, let me see. See, I can give out about Apple because I don't work for them anymore. Thanks for ruining everything, Apple. Also, my chat has literally just disappeared off my screen, so I hope I can get it back. Today? No, not today. Bank statement? No, it's not that either. I can literally posted it on Facebook. Oh, maybe I sent it from my phone. All right, you don't have to do it out because I had it on my phone. I got it back. Cool. Yeah, so check out the Facebook group or the Instagram page at Chord Dave. And I don't like it. I don't like it. It feels to me like it should be optional, like Slash's number 4 on the Gibson Les Paul for his album release. That was I wouldn't have put the number 4 on the guitar. I wouldn't have put the B on the front of the guitar. I don't like it. The artwork on the back, I think, is some of the nicer artwork that they've put on the guitars. I like Mark Ryden as an artist, but I don't particularly like the B on the front. But I've never been a fan of the whole art collection series, to be honest. I can see why people like them. They're just not for me. I do wish more guitars were coming with that protector case. I think that's cool. But all in all, I'm also kind of bored of Adam Jones guitars at this point. It's been one every 2 months, and then I'm pretty sure that the most recent one came out just a couple of weeks ago, and there's another one in 2 more weeks, allegedly. Or is it 3 weeks? Whenever it's coming out, and I just feel I'm jaded with the Adam Jones stuff. I really hope they bring out a plain one for all the people who want that. I think it would be a shame to have only the art collection ones available for Epiphone, because a lot of people don't want the art stuff. And the argument for that for a lot of people tends to be, what's the point in the artwork on the back? Because nobody can see it when you're playing guitar on stage or anywhere. And if you're hanging it on a wall, for example, you're going to hang it like just normally, the guitar facing out. So no one's going to see it there either. So what's the point in it? That's what I'm reading on online forums, people giving out about these guitars. I don't have a problem with the art work. I don't particularly want that kind of thing on my own guitars. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe at some point I'll change my mind on that too. The B on the front, I think it's unnecessary. That's my thoughts. What do you think of it? Yeah, I'm trying to gauge from everyone. Does anyone like it? Some people do, and that's fine. Alice has been raking leaves. Dude, I hate that one. That's like one of the worst ones. Manizert says, I did yard work as well. My waste bin is full and I have enough yard waste to fill it 3 more times. All right, cool. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of work. And also, what are you trying to engrave? Gibson? Custom, I think, is the word. That's what you got there. Richard says, to Ryan. I don't think the 61 are a white in with a maple board. Are all the vintage nitro? That's a question I'm not 100% sure on. But I think so, right? I think they are. But yeah, they might not have white with the maple board, but they might. They also could. I'm not 100%. Alice says I also had a new garage door installed. Caused me to clean part of my garage, or garage, as we would say here. Cool. I mean, hey, gives you more space for an extra guitar or two, bit of practice space, or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe we can move stuff out there to make some room for more guitars. Just a thought. Always like to support gas and its side effects. Glenn says, I kind of like the B on the front. I like the back of that one. I liked the first one and the B one coming out. Well, Glenn, you were wrong, sir. I'm just kidding. No, if they put this one out and said this was like, and it didn't have the B, I would be super happy. I should also comment. So the pictures that I shared were from a retailer that accidentally posted these, and that's where the date November 15 came from. They posted it, and about an hour later they took it down. Not going to get anyone in trouble, so not saying which retailer, but it's a fairly big one. And it was sent to me, and I was like, oh, can't believe they popped that out there. There we go. But there's also a rumor circulating around that it might not actually be the final one, and it might be a decoy. Initially, when I saw it, I was like, that would be a strange one to have as the second one from Mark Ryden. So I would say it's 90% going to be that, but there's that 10% doubt that it's actually going to be that one still. I also heard at one point, not so long ago, that the last one was going to be another Corin Fought painting on the back. So we know they made some of these B ones. I think it's called Queen Bee, this one. So we know they've made some of them, but whether or not they're actually final part of the collection, I'd say 90% sure that's the next one. Because retailer posted it, it wasn't just some dude. It was actually available for sale for about an hour, and then it was taken down. I believe anyone who ordered it, their order was cancelled. Worked on adding a second tone knob to my youngest 3/4 scale Esquire Strat. Rob, cool. Yeah, that's a nice little project for you. Scott says I have a new decal on order, but I wanted it engraved. It should be engraved, Scott. That's actually, if I'd known that when they brought those guitars out. I can't believe Colin didn't mention that. Colin, you're on notice for not mentioning that it was a decal. Well, you're disappointed in it. For $1,500, you want them to be engraved. Sorry, that's just how it goes. Ryan says, yeah, the 60 has both maple and rosewood, and yeah, they're all nitro. There we go. I would trust that way more than I would trust me and my information on it. So thanks, Ryan. Appreciate that, man. Maneser says, I don't have a steady enough hand to Dremel engrave things like logos. That's exactly it. You need a steady hand and a steady surface and a level surface, and everything has to be 100%. It is a difficult thing to do, as I have found. When I tried to engrave things in the past, thinking it'd be dead easy, and it wasn't. There you go. Madman Bosch says, Jess, so Chinese is the food this week. This live stream always makes me hungry. It does. It's weird. It's a guitar live stream. We're supposed to be guitar related, and we always talk about food and weather, which is great. I love to learn about both of those things, and but I do. Every single Saturday night I go to bed hungry, guys, and it's kind of, I don't know if it's good for me, but I always have a hungry Sunday. So there we go. My cheat day is on a Sunday, so it has to be after this live stream. My knees hurt says, my fingernails are all nitro. Spend all day dipping my hand into chemicals. Impossible to clean nitro out from my fingernails. It's a tricky one to work with, for sure. From my limited experience with it, just finished one guitar with it so far, but more in the future, I know, because I'm going to be working on some stuff very soon. Dennis Ellis is here, says hello, Chord Dave, hope everyone's good. Great to see you, Dennis. Hope you are well, my friend. Thanks for joining us. Rob says, Dave, so you can actually have San Miguel in the San Miguel glass. So you actually have San Miguel in the San Miguel glass. I thought matching beer and glass was only down the pub. Yeah, look, it came out of this bottle, and there's more bottles in the fridge. So yeah, it was a promotional offer, and I bought a lot of it, and it's going to be around for a while. So get used to it. So I'm classy like that. The beer on the glass is the beer in the bottle until I run out, and then there'll be something else. And occasionally it will be I don't know, water or something. Not on a live stream, obviously. I don't want to upset anyone. Buglip says if it's not category Bugfoot rain, you ought to be okay. I don't know what that is, but it's probably quite close to it. It's pretty bad. Yeah, I got about. I came home from where I was earlier, and it became ridiculously heavy rain, and I needed to get out and fix the car, and I got about a 15-minute window, and for 10 minutes of that I was trying to figure out how I was going to do the thing. I got it back up and running, so hopefully it'll still work tomorrow when I try to go out somewhere. Pray for me, to whoever you pray to, Slash or someone. Richard Virginia says, greetings everyone, I hope all is well for you fine people. Richard Virginia, it's always great to see you, my friend. Thanks for joining us, dude. My knees hurt says, Sunday, November 5th is the time change, which means the clock in my car will be wrong for 6 months. Yes, sir. Clocks all over the place in my house will be wrong for 6 months, unless they're digital and update themselves. It's just how it goes. Ryan says, where's Dave? And Ben Allmark says, Dave's not home. Maybe I'm not. You never know. My knees hurt says, many Irishmen choose to wear kilts for special occasions such as weddings and formal events as a way to celebrate their Irish heritage. It's true. It has been done. Yes, people do wear kilts from time to time. Brave men. And that's all I'm going to say on that. My knees hurt says, no, man, it's me, Dave. It is me, Dave. But thanks, guys. Let me see, where are we? It's gone. It's gone in that I saw Jess's comment was next, and let me get back to where that was. I hate YouTube. I really do. Like, YouTube, could you just stop being a, what do you call it? Someone choose a negative word and pop it into that at the end of that sentence for me. Jess says, well, I'm excited for an extra hour of sleep. Yeah, I'll take advantage of it. Why not? That sounds like a good plan, to be honest, tomorrow morning. Glenn says, what is sleep? That is also a valid point. Yes, I have many a sleep struggle myself, Glenn, so I'm with you. But just so exhausted lately that I've been sleeping quite well. Too well, in fact. There you go. Ryan says, sleep is something you do when your girl picks a movie to watch or when you're stuck in traffic. No comment. Nella's here. Great to see you. Nella says, speaking of sleep, just woke up from dozing in my easy chair. High all time change. Wish they did do away with it. Hate it getting dark at 5 p.m. That's a great point. And great to see you, Nella. Always great to see you in the chat. Now, do I say this out loud? So, a lovely person says, called I'm a Prick, says, hey Dave, hello sir, how are you? Hope you're doing well. And yeah, thanks for joining us. It's always great to see you. There's, I wonder who you are. Rob says, Ryan, sleep is also something the German Shepherd does by my feet all day so she can stay up all night and bark at foxes and coyotes. It sounds like a great companion, though. Buglip says, I should go be a guest on Bugfoot's My Only Guitar with My Only Guitar. Right? I think that's the best. That's an episode that needs to be done. I mean, Scott probably has 40 episodes to do before he will get to that point, but I think first guest should be Buglips. I think so. My knees hurt says, time means nothing to me. I wish it meant nothing to me, man. I just, yeah, wish I could be that cool. Someday. Glenn said, did Andy Summers deserve to be in the number 250 on Rolling Stone's top 250, or am I just old? Like, are you complaining he was in the top 250, or do you think he should have been higher in the top 250? If you if you want my opinion, I think it's the same as Rick Beato's. I think the top 250 list that Rolling Stone put out was ridiculous and terrible and is awful, and I feel like they have no right to comment because they're not relevant in the rock space anymore like they used to be. So there we go. That's my thoughts. I think they're silly. Yeah, I mean I haven't checked out the lists. I have no interest in it. I think they're stupid. Rolling Stone, that is, not lists. I love lists. Anyways, there we go. I couldn't even tell you who they named as number one. Who did they name as number one? That'd be interesting. Muddy H2O with the super chat, because he's a super lovely person. Says, hey, Chord Dave, lovely channel you have here. I'm in the market for a new air pump. Do you recommend Martin or Tyler pumps? Thanks. Oh man, that is I can't comment. I can't start an actual proper YouTube beef with another YouTuber in the guitar space who has more subscribers than I do again. I just don't know, man. I just don't know. But thank you for your super chat. Yes, indeed, folks. We're watching a video not too long ago where we were told guitars are just air pumps. You can think that. That's not inherently wrong, I guess. Moneyser says, I should add black beans to my... Should I add black beans to my mini tacos? If you like black beans in your tacos, then do it, man. Do it. All signs point to yes. Do it. There you go. Moneyser says, they should make a 250 guitar players that don't deserve to be on a list. I would check out that list for sure. Glenn says, America changes at 2 a.m. Sunday morning. Yeah, but next week. So yeah, you're good. You got an extra week, which is great, actually, because I know, like, I've always had communications with people in the US and in the furthest parts of the US, like out in California and far-flung places like Alaska and stuff like that. And it's like, when that extra hours, that week of the year where the extra hour is taken away and it's 8 hours instead of 9 hours, that's a great week. Feels good. I'm trying to get a hold of someone and they actually can pick up the phone at a decent time. Those are good. So yeah, that's my favorite week of the year, or it has been for a long time. We'll see. I don't know. It's not that big a deal anymore, but hey. Rob says, bummer about the car, Dave. Glad you're mobile again. It's all good, man. I was actually going out to do a bit of reading this morning, go to a coffee shop with my book, get some time in, just let the rest of the world just exist without me for a little while I just dove into a book. But I didn't end up getting anywhere because the car was it's not going. But it's all good. Yeah, it seems to be back up and running again. Hopefully it'll stay that way. Although I won't know really until tomorrow, because it's a jerk. Nella says, hey Scott, I peeled off the top layer of an acoustic pickguard thinking it was a protective plastic dope. Yeah, that sucks. It seems to be like a lot of people have done that. Where Benny Larson's here. Great to see you. Benny says, how have you been? I've missed out on the last 2 streams. I've noticed that you missed out on the last 2 streams, Benny. I hope everything was good with you, man. And great to see you back in the chat there. Hope all's good with you, my friend. Glenn says, stomp the like buttons, peoples. Yeah, indeed. Stomp all the pedals. The like pedals, the subscribe pedals, and I don't know, whatever else pedals you want to do. Let me see. Do away with time change. If it was within my power, Glenn, I would make that change for you, if that's what you really wanted. But if you had 3 wishes, would that be one of your wishes? That's my question to you, my friend. If you rub the lamp and you got 3 wishes, Would one of your wishes be no more time change? I don't think it would be. I think you'd think of other things. Three more things are more important, like Chord Dave having 250,000 subscribers and being the first YouTuber to open a museum. I think that would be great. Rob says, I think a click will do, Glenn. I mean, Glenn gets a little bit violent sometimes. Let him have his stomps. The rest of us, normal folks, will just click them. My knees hurt says, Arizona does not do time change. It is hot as F there in summer. And they have giant dust storms called haboobs. All right. Sounds like a nice place. Yeah, I've from time to time, you see, my day job, I do work with people all over the world from time to time, and I work with businesses all over the world, and they yeah, so occasionally they freak out. They're like, "What about the time change? We don't do time changes, but you're forcing it on us." Like, no, we don't. Anyways, I love my job, and not to be super boastful, but my statistics and metrics would say I'm quite good at it. So, but that's just because I know how to game the system. Um, Q on Tuesday morning being pulled into a meeting with HR. What did you say on to the Three Chord Dave live stream? That wasn't me. That was Three Chord Dave. He's a different person. Corey says, I live in Dawson's Creek, BC, Canada, and we don't change our clocks here. They did away with daylight savings time a long time ago here. See, I think eventually we will do that because it's just whatever, man. Time is time. It's the same no matter what. But like Jess mentioned, on that Sunday morning, it's nice to get that extra hour. If you don't got to get up until 10 o'clock, and that 10 o'clock takes an extra hour to get there, then we're all good. Who gets to stay in bed till 10 o'clock? I know I don't. I don't. So Martian Murray, great to see you, man. Says Arizona, Hawaii, and I believe Yukon territory don't change. I was thinking Hawaii. Yeah, that's true. But I knew Arizona. I'm proud of myself for that. All good. Glenn says our world revolves around Dave. Oh, Glenn, you're just trying not to get a timeout. I know what you're up to. Thanks, man. We love you. And by we, I mean all my personalities. Rob says certain countries in Indiana, counties in Indiana don't do daylight savings either. Wow. Imagine counties don't do it. That's a lot smaller of a space. Wow. That's interesting. Glenn says, Marcia, did you get my message on Instagram I sent? Ooh, interesting. uh, Should we know more about this communication? I don't know. Glenn says also, slash phone number is 555. Dave's a stalker. Like, you're just begging for a timeout. What's going on, man? I thought we were trying to keep you on the straight and narrow. Apparently not. My stalker status is secret. You know that. Not a stalker, guys. I promise. Jess said, I wish I was related to a famous musician. I once did a bad solo in a school Christmas play, but that doesn't count. Is there a video on YouTube? Are you a famous bad soloist on the internet? That works for me. That's famous enough for me, honestly. You can come on. We can do a 10-minute interview about your failed, your bad solo in the Christmas party. I'd be into that. A Christmas play. Sorry. That'd sound cool. Anyways, yeah, I often fantasize about having famous rich people be accidentally discover they're relatives of mine. The nearest I got to it was I lived in a small village at one point when I was around 20 or so, and it was discovered that one of the people who lived in the village was related to one of the Spice Girls who was coming to visit, and it was crazy. And I thought maybe she would want to adopt me, but nope, that didn't happen. It's a shame. So many missed opportunities in life, just by that much. Advo is here. Great to see you. Says gear acquisition syndrome. How to defeat it? Yeah, that's a great question. I don't think there is a way to defeat it. You just got to embrace it, I think, my friend. Marcia says, I've heard that Slash's phone number is hidden in one of his signature guitar cases, kind of like Willy Wonka golden ticket. Start tearing your Slash cases apart in three, two, one. Don't do that, please. Don't accuse this channel of any uh, reasons that you tore your guitar apart, your case apart, I should say. But that would be fun. I did get tickets for Slash and Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators next year, and I'm pretty sure I know which hotel they're going to stay at. All right, now I sound stalkery, but if I get to meet Slash, I don't care. That would be pretty cool. I'll get him to, like, I don't know, sign my guitar or something. Anyways, Glenn says, Jess, your mom's a rock star here. And that doesn't sound right, Glenn, when you say it out loud. So I apologize. But yes, everyone's a fan of Rosie. Um, and Jess says, hope we're getting working on that Rolling Rock T-shirt. I've been thinking about it and trying to figure out how to do it. So yeah, if we do it, I'll reveal it on the 100th show. That gives me 3 weeks. So if I can't figure out how to do it, I don't know what to do. But I'm pretty sure I can get. I got some really cool design people, friends and stuff who are graphic designers and stuff. I'm sure one of them will be able to do it for me. And if not, there's always Fiverr.com. So we'll get it done one way or the other. Matt says, and when I say snowball, I don't mean that kind of snowball. Don't Google it, kids. Don't Google it, kids. No, definitely not. Don't do that. Corey says, thanks for the birthday wishes. I turned 51 yesterday. Not bad for a cancer survivor who wasn't supposed to make it to 45. Well, sir, we're glad you're here with us, and thank you so much for joining this community. We love you around here. And hey, 51, very cool age to be. Congratulations, sir. Marcia says to Advow, it's an incurable disease. The only way to protect yourself is to have no money. That's one way, yeah. Feel free to send all your money to me. I'll protect you from gas anytime. That's a service I provide. I think we have yet another super chat. I actually accidentally nearly reported the person who sent it. Sorry, I didn't do it. It just the button came up and I almost pressed it by mistake. Muddy H2O with yet another super chat because he is a superstar of the channel. See what I did there? Use the word super and star. You're welcome. Hey, Chord Dave, me again. Why is Sweetwater the only place that has the James Jared Nichols Blues Power available Agnesi sales engineer for them now? Question mark. The answer to that question is complicated, and it revolves around Sweetwater getting preferential treatment from the Big G for some reason, probably because they sell a buttload of guitars for them all the time. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, no one else has them until the 2nd of November. Or maybe, what date is it? I have it on my calendar. I'm all professional. The 7th of November is when I expect everyone else to have them. I have no idea why Sweetwater has them. But good call out and good catch this week. They do look cool in the blue, the Pelham blue. It makes every guitar look even better. You guys know I liked the Gold Glory, but then when I got one, I was a little bit disappointed with it. Several things the finish wasn't great on the one I got. That bugged me a lot. And there's times when I can put up with a finish blemish or two, and there's times when I can't. And that guitar wasn't finished well enough to let it go. And yeah, one pickup guitars have never been my favorite, but I want to add one to my collection as well. I like juniors and everything. I don't know. This one just kind of felt a bit weird to me, not having that neck pickup, even though I'd mostly stay in the bridge position anyways, because I'm just weird. So I did send it back, but I'm looking forward to seeing what Sweetwater and all the other guitar companies that I buy stuff from get on the 7th of November. And a bit of controversy. Are we getting them with protector cases, or are we getting them with Epilite cases? Because there's still no official word. Because Sweetwater, I believe, had them with protector cases. I know that because Muddy H2O told me. And Epilite cases, what the Gold Glory came in. And now it says gig bag, I believe. So we'll see when they actually start arriving with people. Will I buy one? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's high on my list of maybe end of year purchases. So we'll see. Jess says my mum would love to be a rock star, not musical, and only Brits will get this. But David Lloyd is her cousin. David Lloyd, I know who David Lloyd is. Um, there you go. Um, I mean, I think lots of people. I think my mom wanted to be in ABBA, either in ABBA or marry Paul McCartney. Those are her big dreams when she was younger, and I agree. Both of those things could have happened at some point. Um, as I've said before, my dad got to play with a lot of Irish musicians who became well known. Thin Lizzy being one of the bands he jammed with from time to time up in UCD, which is cool. The Horselips as well. I played with them, and I think he had a falling out with them at some point. You never know. So what could have been a famous musician's son. Instead, I'm not. It's, life is rough. Atvu says I saw actual dolphin surfing last night on viral videos. I mean, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. I shall maybe see if I can find that out. Glenn Bailey says, we are glad you're still here with us, Corey. Indeed. Matt from Bosch says, are we due a new Slash signature line? All the current range seem to have been blown out. Interesting question, Matt. And yes, I think we are. I don't know when we're seeing it, but this side of the Atlantic anyway, they seem to have just disappeared. All the Slash guitars, they're just gone. They're not. You can't buy them anywhere. Acoustics, Les Pauls, not there. I'm expecting a refresh of the Slash collection to be announced in January at the NAMM show, and we will hopefully see refresh on colors on the Les Pauls. Also expecting an Explorer to be added to the Gibson collection. There could be a couple of other surprises as well. I think there'll be a new acoustic model, which is the one Slash has been playing on tour pretty much all year, which is the one with the cutaway, same guitar just with a cutaway, and so yeah, there's definitely more Slash stuff coming. I think they've held off on it. At the same time, they could drop it at any time, but I feel like they're going to hold it for now, to be honest. Definitely getting different colors on the Les Pauls. That's been spoken about for a long time, like over a year now, and that's why the Vermilion Burst and the Anaconda Burst were supposed to be being retired, and two new colors coming in. So we'll see. I think there's definitely some sort of refresh. Maybe it's just a specs refresh, but there's definitely more different stuff coming out with Slash and Gibson and Epiphone at some point, very soon. Mars says, totally, Corey, way to do the thing to the naysayers who thought you couldn't beat the odds. Indeed, and talk of beating the odds is very welcome at the minute around my folks. So I appreciate that, Corey and Marsha as well. My knees hurt says, I put 3 bird feeders and 1 hummingbird feeder today. Very cool. Hummingbirds are very interesting creatures. They're mesmerizing. Ryan says, happy birthday, Corey. My internet was out yesterday. I didn't get the notification, but now that I think about it, you didn't with me either. There you go. I didn't know. I don't get notifications really. I think you have to check notifications, no, for birthdays. And I don't check notifications. But happy birthday to everybody. Scott says, I think so, Matt. If I was Slash, I'd go on strike or go to Fender. Oh, God. You never know. You never know. I think you'd be more likely to go to PRS. I'm sure Miles Kennedy, who is like an embedded PRS artist, like for years and years now, and a very big part of their plans in the future, I believe. I'm sure he's spoken to Slash and been like, come on, get a PRS in your collection. But of course, Slash is so integral to Gibson, they would just throw money at him and not let him go. Matt says, Slash must be making a fortune from the Epi range. Even a few dollars per guitar will soon add up. Yep. They have sold quite well, particularly when they were reduced in price. They were just selling huge numbers. Scott says, yeah, it is the only thing I'm disappointed about. Why would you be disappointed? Because the pickups were the wrong ones? know, I called it. I'm so disappointed. I was so excited for those guitars when they were rumored and we knew they were coming, but we didn't know anything about them. And then I found out when I was making that video, I was like, this sucks, man. I'm like the worst news about these guitars. But hey, there's also lots of people, let's be honest about this, there's lots of people who bought Epiphone slash guitars and absolutely love them. And that is cool. And that's all that matters. If you dig it and it's great, don't worry about someone like me on YouTube saying that they're disappointed in the specs or anything of the guitar. They're still cool guitars. And, I hope you keep enjoying them, whoever you are. Because sometimes you say something like, I was disappointed, and people think you mean that they're crap or they're terrible guitars or you hate the people who bought them. Not at all. I'm happy for people to get whatever they want. As long as they're happy with it, then that's cool. That's all that really matters. But, I was disappointed in those ones. Like I have been a few Epiphone signature models over the last couple of years. Anyways, before I dig this hole any deeper, Marcia says, Matt, I've heard Sweetwater is still getting new stock even though they've run out a few times since that sale started. How do they keep restocking them? Usually it's gone once it's gone in that case. Sweetwater still appear to have stock for Slash stuff. In Europe, you can't get them anywhere. Matt says Slash, not slag. I mean, I did catch that one, but Marcia does say Slag Rocks. Is that the name of the new John Mayer album? Anyway, I shouldn't be shocked to see new models. I wouldn't be shocked to see new models. Just an observation. Slag Rocks t-shirt. You never know. You never know. After the Rolling Rock, if it's successful, we could do anything. If that is successful, anything is going to be successful. Rob F says, Matt Van Bosch, no doubt I hear figures of 200 to 300 in royalties on most signature guitars. There's a lot of information out there and it's mixed bag of kind of this and that. I don't know what to believe, man. I think it's more a percentage per guitar rather than a set number. I would imagine if I was Slash or Bonamassa or Dave Mustaine or whoever is getting an Epiphone, Marty, I'd be like, pay me an upfront fee of X amount so that I can, know I got a guarantee, and then pay me, I don't know, 3% of every guitar or 10% of every guitar or whatever. And with the numbers Slash's signatures have done, that'd be a lot of money. The numbers Dave Mustaine's guitars have done, he would be disappointed, and that's why you want that figure up front, because they haven't been selling well because they're priced too high for most people. I'm not going to get into that again until Tuesday. Matt Van Bosch, no doubt. No, we read that one from Rob already. Thanks for that, Rob. Adbo says, why can't they make great guitars like the 50s Strats? There's no reason why they can't. There is no reason. The thing is, so they were still kind of figuring it out in the 50s, and there was a lot of really good ones and a lot of really bad ones. That goes the same with Gibson and Epiphone, Gibson and Fender as well. And other companies, they were still like figuring out the electric guitar thing. Towards the end of the 50s, of course, they got it a lot better. They were entering the golden age at that point. And then, they had some really cool times. But they were all handmade, and a lot of guitars these days are made by CNC. So it's whatever guitar they've based, the single particular guitar they've based those CNC plans off is what everyone's getting, really. There's minor differences. Of course, you're talking like the master built ones or the custom shop ones. It's a different situation, but the majority of those of big company guitars these days are initially cut by CNC machines anyway. So why can't they do it? It's probably just because they're more concerned with pumping up volume than high quality. As long as they're good enough, that's all that matters. That's why we see a lot of issues, because people are rushing to finish off the CNC bodies. Matt Van Bosch says, seriously, that much per guitar? Wow, printing money. Wait till the 3-chord Dave signature guitar comes out. I'm going to get a lot of money off each one. I'm talking like 6, maybe 7 euros. DMAC says, got a ditch early tonight. All the best to everyone. Take care, DMAC. Thanks for popping in to see us. Always good to see you in the chat. And Richard says, I'm not a big fan on Relic either, Dave. It might be my only budget way to get into Nitro. Yeah, there's what are there's PRS ones that are nitro, and they're only like, they're not super expensive, I think. Well, compared to, I mean, if you're in the price range of the Road Worn, I think that is a good place to start with anyway. Let's see what you like. If you're looking for a Strat, that's probably the best way to go for sure. Scott says, how do newer Murphy Labs look? The early ones looked bad, uh, like they were from the Muppet slabs. There was problems with them early on, like the finish flaking off and stuff like that, and them not being, a lot of returns and complaints initially. But when you say a lot, you're probably talking like 20%. So it's still a lot more not getting return or complaints, and people love that sort of thing, and they were super happy with it. I think they got a lot better since then. They've refined the process. I don't look at them too often because I'm not super interested in them. If I'm going to spend 5,000 to 8,000 on a guitar, I don't think I'd look at a Murphy Lab guitar. I'd look at an old one of kind of similar price ranges. But yeah, for a Murphy Lab, I mean, the thing with the Murphy Lab is, and this is what people say, is that you're getting all the vibe of having an older guitar, but all the precision and niceness of a new guitar. I don't know. Again, having never played one, I couldn't tell you. If Gibson want to send me a free Murphy Labs guitar, I'll give an honest review of it. But I don't think they will ever do that. So yeah. I think Sweetwater gave some YouTubers Murphy Lab guitars last year, but those guys had like super big audiences. So yeah, me and the other guys around 9, 7, 8, 9, 10,000, we ain't getting no free guitars off nobody. Unfortunately, if you want to send us free guitars for review, reach out. Emails in the description of every video. Scott Bogwood says, anyone new here, welcome. You'll have to subscribe and wait 1 minute before you can chat in the best chat on the YouTubes. Indeed, you got to be that 1 minute so that you can, we can keep you subscribed. Benny says, Dave, predict the Epiphone will put out the 60s SG standard with a Maestro Vibrola in olive drab, as well as the SG Traditional Pro in metallic gold. I think, sir, I think you may have been on Thomann recently, right? Yes, I agree with your prediction, sir, and I think maybe we might see that in 2 to 3 weeks, maybe. I think that's what we're looking at there. Very good, Benny. I appreciate that, man. And I'm looking forward to seeing those SGs. I think they look pretty. They seem to be pretty cool. I haven't seen them yet, but I've read the spec sheets and they look pretty good. Rob says to Richard Clark, I want my guitars to look as new as possible for as long as possible, hence why I'm a little nervous about getting my first nitro finished guitar. Don't worry about it, Rob. It is cool. I'd be the same. Like, I like my guitars to look as new as possible forever. But the thing is, I do ding them against doors and seats and all kinds of things accidentally, and then things never stay perfect forever, but they can stay pretty nice. With the nitro guitars, it does look kind of cool. You got to say, when they start checking and stuff like that, my Flying V is pretty checked. There's lots of checking on it, and it does look cool. It does freak me out at times though if I'm cleaning the guitar I have to be extra careful not to start picking bits off or accidentally just messing up the whole thing, which is never done, but it does freak me out a little bit thinking about it. But yeah, you've got to be a little bit more careful with it. But there is something a little bit different and nicer about it, I think, just how it feels and everything. Anyways, Glenn says, who thinks new Slash model will be an Explorer? I said that. I was the first person in the world to say that, because there's a Slash holding an Explorer in this that they say is a signature model. And so I did a video about it a while ago. I do think that they will be doing a Slash Explorer. He's been heavily playing a 58 Explorer on tour, and there's not a whole lot of signature Explorers out there. And from my understanding, they haven't fully convinced James Hetfield to come to Gibson yet. I think they will, but the last time I asked about that, I was told not yet. So take from that what you will. Rob says to Glenn, they're running out of LP finishes. I don't know. I think they could do if they upgrade the guitar a little bit and put in Gibson pickups and just change a couple of things and then re-release a lot of the same finishes but slightly different. Because the ones that they brought out were cool, but a little bit more worn in finishes, like a worn veneer, even on the Epiphone side. I think that would actually sell a lot because a lot of Slash's guitars look beat to hell. So I think people would buy that. And then, yeah, like he's been playing guitars on tour that are kind of unusual. So for Slash, like he's been playing Explorers, he's been playing a Flying V. He's been actually, I don't think they can do this because he's been playing Jimi Hendrix signature Flying V. That the one they brought out a couple of years ago for 10 grand. He's been playing that on tour, and he's been playing an SG again, which he hasn't done for a long time. But he's been having the last 2 years he's had an SG out from time to time. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me to see some surprises added to the Slash lineup, but you never know. Glenn says exactly, Rob. The demo shop was having a little trouble moving the last ones. They were, yeah. Because I think everyone who bought them got a good deal on them at some point. And by good deal, I mean got them at the price they should have been initially. Richard Clark says, Rob, I keep my guitars pristine with nitro, plus they play, feel, and sound better. It also allows you to get a natural relicking made as by you as it ages. That's true. Yeah, it does look that way. And if you're buying a new guitar, same thing. Like, yeah, you just keep it in good condition yourself. It will get that that checking and that relicking and stuff a little bit as time goes. But I think you'll like it when it happens because you've done the aging essentially. Mar says could be an Explorer V or even a Telly. He's been seen with those models a lot. I don't think Slash the Epiphone or Gibson Slash collection will include a Telly, Marsha, but you never know. In his younger days, he had Tellys, yeah, and he did play a Telly on Appetite for Destruction, I believe. Yeah, for certain songs, or maybe it was. I'm mixing up my stuff now. I know he played Telly on a couple of recordings, but yeah, Gibson. Maybe they could bring back the T300 for a Slash model. That'd be great. Richard Virginia says, hi Dave, do you have any particular guitar on your radar in the near future? Lots of them. So if I tell you, my reverb list only has 9 guitars on it at the moment. It's the lowest it's been in a long time. But people keep buying the guitars I want. 2 of those are 2007 Gibson Robot guitars. I might step on one of those. I might pull the trigger on one of those soon. I have a 2016 Gibson Les Paul Studio High Performance, I think it's called, and a lovely Inverness green. That comes in one of those super cool shiny aluminium cases, and a couple of 2015 guitars as well. Traditional that I had my eye on, Les Paul traditional in the blue that they just brought back out, whatever it's called, ocean blue or whatever. Absolutely gorgeous guitar, and it just sold yesterday, and I was kind of bummed about it, but it's fine. In terms of non-Gibson guitars, sorry, before I move on too much from that, I also have a 1983 Epiphone Spirit 2, which is one of my favorite pieces of Epiphone / Gibson history. I think they're very, very cool guitars. We've talked about them a few times, and those are cool. I have one of those in my cart and Reverb as well, which just got a price reduction, and I'm thinking about it, but it's in California, so who knows. In terms of new guitars, the Jared James Nichols Blues Power, Blue Glory, whatever they're calling it. I like that. I think I might pick that up at some point. But I don't think that's going to be like the Gold Glory. I don't think it's going to be limited. I think you will be able to get your hands on them into next year, so there's no panic on that. So yeah, the new SGs that Benny mentioned that are coming out from Epiphone, they look great. A gold Les Paul or gold Epiphone SG, I think would look pretty sweet in the collection. But yeah, at the moment, those are kind of the ones that I'm looking at. We'll see. because I'm still on a, I'm still thinking I'm trying not to buy a guitar for the rest of the year because of other things that are coming up. But those are my thoughts. But any day now, something could pop up and I'll be like, fuck it, I'm going to buy that guitar. If, for example, if Fender brought out a Troublemaker Telly, I'm buying one next time those come out. And because I think those are fantastic, and I'm disappointed that I don't have one in my collection. Let me see, what else? Yeah, I don't think there's anything super standoutish other than that, but we'll see. Scott says, I think I could print it on ink if I had a typewriter to tear the letters out of. You could. I don't know if that's a good idea, but you never know. Marcia says that could explain the sale where they're trying to milk those models a bit more and then make people want the new ones. I don't think they're totally doing away with the current lineup, though. I'd be surprised. I think the original idea was that they would have 3 core colors in the Slash collection with Epiphone. Just talking about Epiphones, and then there would be limited edition ones as well. But we haven't seen them change out the limited edition ones yet. So this could just be that, where they've pulled them off the market to introduce new limited edition models at some point, and a different model at some point. We will see. Glenn Bailey says, I don't think Gibson will be happy if Slash releases a Telly. I could see Mark Agnesi being authentically unhappy with that. Let's just say that. Eric Ainsley says, I ordered the 6th Adam Jones. It's supposed to be here tomorrow. That'll be my 3rd one. I have the Veil of Bees and the Berserker. You know, the cool ones. Very cool, man. Yeah, listen, the Veil of Bees is an interesting art piece. I do like that. Berserkers, I don't want to say cool. It's definitely a thing. But hey, man, if you dig those guitars, that's awesome. And glad you were able to get 3 of them that you enjoyed. So that's cool. Will you pick up the 7th one, which is the one we're talking about? Gibson will release a Les Paul Traditional Pro V and Desert Burst loaded with Tradbuckers. Thomann has already got them listed in the Gibbies in stock. Do you know what's up with that? Dave, I don't. I saw that the other day and I was like, what's this all about? But yeah, as usual, Gibson don't answer my questions, and I expected that to be an announcement that was made the day it went out on Thomann, but Thomann are in a little bit of trouble with Gibson because of their massive leak of the new Les Paul Modern collection, which is not supposed to be public knowledge for another couple of weeks yet. And of course, people like me and a certain aspiring museum host put out a video as well about them, where, you know, which got out before my video, and I wasn't disappointed in that. Again, there you go. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think they're in trouble. I think they might be just putting though like the SGs and the F1 SGs and the Gibson, the Traditional Pro, up there for just to annoy them a little bit. Who knows? But I think that might be a thing that we see this week, like this coming week. I'm not sure. Richard says to Scott, you can get a custom ink stamps made very cheap. There's an idea. Ryan says, I'm falling asleep here, being up all night waiting for a friend at the airport, going to take a nap. Sweet dreams, Ryan. Hope you're well, my friend. Take care of yourself. Thanks for joining us after no sleep. So take care. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Rob says to Glenn, first pedal was a looper, so I can hear how horrible I sounded. Next was a drum pedal to learn time, and then added a fuzz face and clones. Plan to add delay and reverb for Christmas. Not a bad plan there, to be quite honest with you. It sounds like you got it all set up. My niece shirt says the Veil of Bees is cool. These other ones are not my can of beans. I like that. Not my can of beans. And Mark says, I agree. Veil of Bees was the best. Veil of Bees was all right. I mean, I like it, but was it the best? I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah. Well, you know, we've all got different tastes when it comes to art. It's subjective. Personally, I like this new one about the rumored last one. I think that's nice, but take the B off the front, goddammit. I still, it's the silver burst thing. I don't like the silver burst. That's my thing about it. I'm glad other people do like it though. That's good. They're getting what they wanted. People have been wanting these silver burst guitars for a long time. Um, Eric says, I also agree that I'm glad the Adam Jones series is about over. Yeah, they should have just dropped them all together. I think. I don't know why they. Maybe for folks like you, Eric, who we're going to pick up a couple of the guitars, two or three of them, whatever. Um, they wanted to have it so that people would have the opportunity, not have to scramble with every scalper on the planet to buy these guitars at once. But I think they should have just popped the collection out, or like being like one every month or something. Dragging it out for the entire year has been very tiresome. I lost interest in doing videos and everything about them after about the second one. Yeah. And then they didn't sell as well as they were expecting them to. So, they kind of, I don't know. I don't know. I'm pretty sure like we had a big leak at one point around April of the, like, there was the Car and Fought Sensations was the big one from that. And there was a few others. I think Epiphone or Gibson leaked those purposely themselves now looking back on it because they weren't getting the traction beforehand. But then, they didn't pick up from that. So. But I'm glad you got some good ones that you like. That's the main thing, man. I hope in many years I've enjoyed them. Let's see. Rob F says, my knees hurt. I like the idea of artwork on guitars, though, as they say, these are not my cup of tea. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely. I'd like the artwork to be on the front. I'm just not going, as I said, it is for the display piece. It'd be better if it's on the front, unless you got some weird kind of, very cool kind of display cases where people can get to walk around the whole guitar. That would be great. That would make it a different kind of purchase. All right. Muddy H.O. said, Richard Clark, the Eric Johnson Strat is nitro as well as a thick 50s maple neck. 12-inch radius too. It's available in vintage blonde. Great guitars. Can find them used for pretty good prices. He's always trying to sell them Fender Strats for some reason. Advo says, is it me or the guitar? Why do my sound not as good as I want it? That's a difficult question to answer. It could be the setup. It could be the guitar. It could be just the settings you've got it on. What your tone is set to, what your volume is set to can be important. What strings you're using, what pickups are in there, what you've got the amp set to, whether you got pedals connected or not. There's a lot of variables, but you know what it is? Don't beat yourself up. If it doesn't sound 100%, just get a little bit closer every time you play, and then you'll get there. Says the guy called Chord Dave. Don't take my word for anything, but that's what I would do. I would, every time I'm playing, just try and get a little bit closer to what you're looking for, and you'll get there. It just takes time really to get your sound, I think. Mark says, I have said that it was pretty dumb to put the artwork on the back if they were going to put art at all. Indeed. Yes, glad we agree on that. Benny says, sleep well. Say hello to the Sandman for me. It's great. Every night I fall asleep to Lemmy singing Enter Sandman. It's one of the greatest covers of all time. I don't quite fall asleep to it. It is a great thing. You can find it on YouTube if you haven't heard it before. It's really, really good. It's Motorhead covered Enter Sandman and a few other things. I have an animated video that's quite fun. Richard Clark says, I am so tired of Adam Jones crap. I wanted my Silver Burst my whole life, and now I can afford one. Everybody gets one. 56, is it 5,600 people get one if they want the artwork that's available, and if they're willing to pay the price of them. So there's only 56, is it 56? 7 times 8? Yeah, 5,600 altogether. They're struggling to sell them, and I wouldn't be surprised if when the 7th one comes out, give it a couple of weeks, we get into December and it's like, oh, there's all of these guitars all these art collections are still available. Maybe not the first one that came out because that one sold pretty well, pretty quickly. But the others, as far as I'm aware, they haven't sold out worldwide of all the others, which is crazy to think about. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them, and maybe even discounted because of that fact. So, if you waited all your life for it, it does suck. But just get your one. Your one will be special. So that's all. Eric says the guitar is just the first step. A great guitar through the wrong wrong amp or cab can be a problem. So many links in the chain. That's the truth. Richard Clark says, Muddy HO, thanks. I am going to look right now. He's a helpful young man, is the Muddy H2O. Scott says, in my opinion, the art is of poor taste and quality. I hate to be blunt, negative, but I do accept that my opinion can be wrong. And some people can like it. Art is subjective. Art is subjective, and what I will say is knowing artists, hanging around with artists, particularly in my younger years, and disagreeing with some of their artistic choices, and my own, to be quite honest with you. I feel like you could be best friends with everyone, agree on everything, and then come up against an art piece and be like, I don't like it. And the other person be like, I think it's the greatest thing I've ever seen. It is very subjective, more so than music probably. But you're absolutely entitled to that opinion, Scott. And it's look, I'm not going to disagree with you. I don't particularly like the idea of the art collection. The things I think it should be applauded for are it's something different, and they haven't been doing something different for a while. And I think as well, it's one of those things people were clamoring for it for a long time. People wanted the Adam Jones Epiphones to come out, right? I was getting questions daily for like 2 years. When are the Adam Jones Epiphones coming out? When are the Adam Jones Epiphones coming out? On and on and on. I was getting so sick of that question. But then they bring them out, and the only option is the art collection. And a lot of people didn't want that. They just wanted a regular Silverburst guitar. And I can see that, or a faded Silverburst. And I could see that side of it too. I hope they do that for people who want it. It's been a long time now waiting for that. But, it is definitely, absolutely within your prerogative to say that. And I don't disagree with you. But I also do. It's complicated. Eric says to Scott, agreed. Some of the art was very not rock and roll. I couldn't understand the choice of just a lady laying in her pajamas. That didn't make sense for me or anyone else. Apparently, in terms of sales, no, but that was his wife's artwork. So I think he had to pick something from his wife. Happy wife, happy life, right? If he's going to, she's a professional artist, if he's going to pick art for his guitars collection and he doesn't pick his wife, I think he would be dead. So just put that out there. But yeah, they're not the most rock. Some of them are, like Berserker's a pretty rock and roll image. I think like that would adorn metal albums for sure, in the 80s in particular. So with the new one, the Anti-Locatune one from Ernst Fuchs, whatever his name is. I'm gonna get slaughtered for that pronunciation. But yeah, those ones are pretty rock and roll, pretty metal, I think. But I get it. I'm not a big fan of the whole way they've implemented them. But hey, some people really dig them. So that's the cool thing. People getting what they like. My first big investment after a guitar and an amp were custom cabs and speakers from Zilla. The stack of 2x12s made my Squier Affinity Strat sound incredible, says Rob F. The first time I had a really good amp, or played through a really good amp, was in my friend's house when I was in school. And we went down one Saturday, and his dad had a Telecaster, I think, hooked up to, I don't even know what it was hooked up to, but it sounded so great. And I couldn't play fucking anything, but I was like super excited to play this guitar. And he playing drums, I played the guitar, and it just sounded so good. I was like, I kept saying, can we go back in and play guitar a little bit? That'd be cool. Because it just sounded so good. So yeah, the amp is a huge thing. Don't buy Marshall Code. Just saying that. They're fine, honestly, because I rag on that all the time. It's actually not that bad an amp. It's just not that great an amp. That's true too. Daniel Tillery says, let's go. Hopefully in about 20 minutes. Scott says, I would really think it is cool if if it was Bob Ross art on a guitar. And Marsh says, I would totally buy a Boss Ross. I don't know what you guys are smoking. Maneser says, I take food to bed with me. I ain't gonna bed hungry or sober. I mean, don't go to bed hungry for sure. I mean, I do on Saturdays because of you guys. Eric says, cabs can make a difference. Got a switcher, and just switching between cabs through the same amp is extremely different, even if the same speaker. It's very exhausting. Good advice, man. Good advice. Glenn says, happy Strats Les Pauls aren't damaged. They are just happy accidents. The Bob Ross collection. There you go. it's a nice way to spin it, Glenn. I love it. Where are we now? Where's the questions that I saw coming up? I can't believe how far behind again. I opened the chat late so I wouldn't get so far behind, and now I'm really far behind. Oh, damn it. So when I scroll up, then I see funny comments by you guys. I think it was here. There it is. All right. Okay. I'm not even halfway through. All right, great. Thanks for sticking with me all the time, guys. I don't know how you do it. Like I'm desperately behind on the chats all the time. So thanks for hanging out. It's always great to hang out with you guys anyway. I love my Saturday nights hanging with you when I get the chance. But I do say I've got to figure a way to get through these chats a bit better. I don't know how I'm going to do it. So yeah. Anyway, we'll try. Maneser says, I have a bunch of Guinness in the fridge as well, 4.3% breakfast beers, I guess. I mean, it's all good. It's all good, sir. I know you're on the stronger level than I am myself. But it's a nice beer. It's a nice beer to start your day then in that case. Marsha says, YouTube is poop emoji. Yep. Let me see. Scott says kilt. They call it that because it was what happened to the last guy who called it a skirt. Indeed. Where have we got? Robert is here. Great to see you, Robert. Good morning to you, sir. Said, good morning, Dave, and everyone. Hope you're all had a good week. Robert, hope you are well, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us once again on your Sunday morning down there in Australia. Very cool to see you join us each week. Let me see. I'm going to start running through chats as much as I can, guys. We've about 15 minutes to go. Ben says, to hell with Rolling Leftist Stone Magazine and Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, those are two things that I don't think are incredibly relevant anymore. They've made themselves irrelevant for sure. Maneser says, funny, I've watched 3 or so videos on that 250 guitar player list, and I do not know who is number 1. Right? Doesn't seem like anyone's talking about it. Like you think it would be a big deal, but I don't know who it is. I haven't looked at where anyone is. My main, anytime I see those lists, I'm like, where have you placed Rory? Is Rory in the top 10? If he's not in the top 10, your list is bullshit. So, and usually these lists are bullshit. So that's my take on that. Daniel Sitter says Rolling Stone is just mainstream anymore. Is it not mainstream anymore? Rolling Stone is poop, says Glenn. I didn't even bother looking at the Rolling Stone list. Most of these lists are jokes. I agree. They don't even explain their selection criteria clearly. I think when you're writing up a list of the top 250 guitarists, you're like, can we name 250 guitarists and put them in some kind of order? I don't honestly think these people are all listening to all 250 guitarists. So there we go. Yeah, I think they're nonsense, most of these. Like 250, really? Give me a break, dude. My knees hurt, says Marsh. I think they do explain the criteria according to a YouTube video I watched last night. For what it's worth. Interesting. I haven't seen anybody talk about it, and I'm not going to read it. So yeah, they're I don't know, lists are bullshit, man. Daniel says, Dave, you watch One Piece yet? What's that, Daniel? One Piece? I don't think I have watched it in this case. But let me know what it is. So if it's something I should watch, let me know. Marsha says, I mean, in most cases, I don't mean this specific list. I'm generalizing. I agree with you, Marsha, 100%. Rob says, Tone King had interesting commentary on the Rolling Stone list. If you read the preamble, they covered all genres of guitar music. For example, they had a 20s era acoustic player on the list. I mean, nothing wrong with that terribly, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'd have to look at it to give a real opinion, but I just think the lists are nonsense for most of the time. I never remove the plastic covering that protects the plastic, says my knees hurt. Oh, I do. So like the first thing I do. Scott Brower says you can't really ascribe criteria when ranking something that is at its core subjective. That is the smartest thing I've heard said about this whole list thing, Scott. Great to have you with us to say such a thing. Glenn says, Dave, I'm not falling for your rub the lamp thing. Yeah, not again, Glenn. Sure, whatever. Love you, man. In most cases, those lists are going to miss people that should have been there, and they can't possibly include everyone. I don't see the point of these lists anymore. True, Marsha. Also, there's a little bit of like what's it called? Like kissing up to people. Like they're not going to say anything bad about Kirk Hammett because they won't get any Metallica interviews, and things like that. They're not going to badmouth anyone or leave anyone off the list who they're going to later go and try and interview. So I think or get news from or whatever. So I think that is a very important point too. Rob F says, Scott Brower, exactly all of selections are subjective. And Glenn says, he tried that rub the leg thing with me too. You know what happened. Rub the Lamp sounds like a Spinal Tap album. It does. If they put out a new album, that's what it should be called. Scott says I might rub mine later. Well, I mean, that's a Saturday night. If that's what you want to do, it's all good. My knees hurt says the point of the list is to get us all talking about the list, and it works every damn time. I think in this case though, they're getting so much negativity. It's that saying there's no such thing as negative publicity. That's not true anymore. There is, like, they're being torn apart in the guitar community for this thing. Glenn says he's a dirty old bastard. That's why Slash won't give him his phone number. That is no way, sir, to talk about Muddy H2O. He is not old, okay? Muddy says, time is time. That shit hits deep. All right. I'm sorry. Daniel says, farmers got alarm clocks. They do. So there you go. That works on many levels, sir. All right, let's see. We need a time is time t-shirt. I don't know. Maybe that's further down the list in my book. Glenn says the new t-shirt, 3 Chord Dave, rub my magic guitar lamp, and all your dreams will come true. I don't know. I should say that, or make that shirt, I should say. Daniel Zinner says Spice Girls, haven't heard that name in years. Yeah, they're still a band, I think, or they're still a group of ladies who go singing from time to time. So yeah, there you go. Scott says Zillas are cool. Almost bought one. And Daniel says, would Slash be sober at that hotel? Slash is allegedly sober now for a long time. I don't know how many years, since I think 2007 or so. So I hope so. I hope he would be. Marcia says, wait, did Dave say something about my Instagram? I missed that he said because my house phone rang. No, I said my Instagram. So there you go. Yeah. So I don't pimp other people's Instagrams. It's just mine. Just at 3 Chord Dave. I'm pretty sure that's it. I don't really pay attention to it. I'm on there just to follow Cesar. Marcia says, I was banned from posting on Instagram though. That was funny. That was funny because you were talking with Dave Grohl Guitars at the time. Oh, Instagram. Maybe they've got a partnership with Gibson and no one's allowed to talk about those guitars anymore. We'll find out because I'm going to talk about them some more soon. How many does it take to qualify as a buttload of guitars? Anyone know the precise number? it can't be a precise number. It is just a buttload. So yeah, it's you know, one of those things. Jess says, love the Spice Girls story. Johnny Depp looked around the house Rosie and my father lived in. Rosie is far more excited about being mentioned in Chord Dave than Johnny Depp. I mean, I think Johnny's pretty cool, but he can't compete. He just can't. Send Rosie all our love for that in particular. Wayne McConnell's here says, greetings from Canada, y'all. Greetings to you, Wayne. Hope you're well, my friend. Scott Bogfoot says, we need a new Joe Perry Gold Rush in Gibson and Epiphone. That'd be pretty sweet, to be honest. Yeah. Trash Slayer says, Sweetwater currently showing an Epi-like case for the Jared James Nichols blue one. Yeah, that's what they're currently showing. But when they listed originally, they were showing, like a few days ago, they were showing protector cases. So if anyone gets one, because they are apparently for sale there, let me know. Glenn says, can someone here please explain to me what part of I know what hotel / is staying at next year doesn't make you a stalker? Knowing the hotel and sneaking into it would make you a stalker. Knowing and hoping to meet your guitar hero there is a different thing. Don't alert him to that. All right, it's fine. I have the best of intentions just for me and Slash to be the best of friends. It's not a King of Comedy situation going on here, I promise. If you've seen that movie, you know what I'm talking about. He's totally safe. We'll just become the bestest of buds forever. Anyways, let me see. Muddy H.O. says to Trash Layer, Dave misspoke. Shocking. That is shocking. What are you talking about? I told him Sweetwater had those. Musician's friend actually shows it with an Epi chainsaw case. I trust Sweetwater. I'm sure it's coming with an Epi light. It would make more sense for it to come with an Epi light, but the price increase would make sense for it to come with a protector case. So we'll have to see. Maybe Musician's friend is correct. Who knows? But yeah, I knew it was Muddy H.O. giving me invalid information one way or the other. So thanks for that, Muddy. Were you waiting on them, Trash Layer? And says, I was, but now life is in the way. So no, JJN, Pelham Blue goodness for me right now. Yeah, and as Muddy H.O. says, I hear you. I hear you too. I don't think I'll be picking it up soon because of that. Life being a thing. Scott says, PRS double neck / signature model would be crazy. I mean, we can dream, Scott. You and I share a PRS / model dream for some craziness would be cool. Let me see. Glenn says Slash Rocking and McCarthy could respect that. That would be fun, wouldn't it? That would be very fun. In an alternative universe, that is what Slash plays. So yeah, I'd love to see that actually one day. Daniel says new guitars are better now. Can't argue that. There's people will argue with you, sir. In terms of quality out the door, I think they're better than they had been in the past, because handmade means errors a lot more. CNC should mean less of those errors. Yeah, I would probably fall on that side, to be honest. I don't know. I think it needs a lot more conversation and thought. Glenn says upfront deal usually goes after the sales reach the amount you were fronted. Then you start making a percentage on anything sold moving forward. That's my understanding. And sir, where is your signature guitar? Because I want to buy it. I presume it's a Yamaha, and I'm excited for it because I haven't got Yamaha in my collection. Apu says a guitar costs 20,000 handmade by an expert. It can do. You can get really nice handmade guitars for a lot less than that also. Some smaller boutique companies make some really good guitars. I am currently in love with what Banker are doing with their Iron Man guitar. I think that's great. And who knows, someday maybe. But anyways, Benny says, I believe about 6% is usually standard royalties on signature guitars, but I could be remembering wrong. I think I've heard that as well. I think that's a kind of a decent number, Benny, to be honest with you. Yeah. Ben Allmark says Road Warren or Nitro, they're awesome. And Daniel says, really, besides Gibson, most companies have decent quality control. Um, there's always things that slip through with all companies. That's I think I've had lots of reports on this channel down the years of lots and lots of different uh, guitar companies having terrible QC issues, and I think in all cases it's a minority that gets through, but the minority get talked about a lot. So Gibson, even it's not every Gibson that leaves the factory in bad shape, but enough to talk about. Um, it does seem to get highlighted more, I think, because they probably sell more than a lot of companies, maybe other than Fender. Muddy says Masterbuilts are still CNC made. All those are is more attention to detail in finishing, setup, etc., etc. Oh, that's interesting. See, this is where I have a lack of Fender knowledge, and I didn't know that. That's very interesting. Sign me up to be a master builder, please. Um, Scott says, more and more I'm seeing signature guitars that the artist never uses or is never known to use. In my mind, I kind of think you should only get a signature if your guitar is well known. That, but like, there's also people like I respect an awful lot for playing their signature models. People like Lizzie Hale, um, Emily Wolfe, Jared James Nichols. They all play their signature models happily alongside other guitars that are maybe more expensive or whatever. I think Joe Bonamassa used to bring his signature models out just for one or two songs, maybe at a time. I don't think he's been doing it recently. And I don't think I've seen Slash ever walk on stage with one of his Epiphones. I could be wrong, but I just haven't seen it myself. And I get your point there. Rob says, Daniel, my impression is Gibson is improving and it's Fender US that's having the most QC issues right now. And Dennis says, you're probably right. I stopped paying attention to the big brands besides PRS a while ago. You're not the only one who's done that. I think that is the general consensus. Gibson is getting better, but they still have work to do. Yeah, I've heard people complaining about Fenders. I haven't really picked up a new Fender product in a while, so I don't think I can say. Glenn says, I saw that vid with Kiko from Megadeth, and he was saying, and it was after Dave's signature acoustic was released, and the guitar on the stand was not Dave's signature. So yeah, Benny, I agree. Play what you're trying to sell me. Okay, sir, I will. I promise. The artist should own the signature unless they're dead. When I don't mind hypothetical, like the Lucille's. Well, at least BB King played Lucille's while he was alive. But yeah, how would he feel about today's ones going out? I don't know. Anyways, let's see what else we got. Going to try and jump through because we are at the midnight hour right here for now. Let me see. I just want to make sure we don't miss anyone. Jess says, I'm still waiting the Rose to come down in price. Think it'll be a patience test. It might be, Jess, it might be, but I can't see them not reducing the prices at some point when they still have them towards the Christmas time. So I would be very surprised they don't get a price reduction, especially because we've seen some of them get price reductions. So I'd be very, very surprised. Batfing2 says, greetings, my rock and roll marsupials. Is it marsupials? Greetings to you, Batfing2. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Thanks for dropping in. Glad we got to chat to you once again at the end of the show. Says, if I had a Silverburst guitar, I'd call it Stallone. There you go. That works. I like it. Let me see what else we got here. Some say Lemmy was God. Quite possible. If there's a God, it's probably Lemmy. Lemmy was a true rock star. Indeed, the documentary with him is that they made, I think it's just called Lemmy, is such a fun watch. The dude was like a proper rock star. Yeah, super, super cool. Lemmy looked kind of scary. Not sure I'd tangle with him, but they say he was a big, soft-hearted, wise old fella. Yeah, I think he was really, really cool. Yeah, I think Lemmy's definitely missed. For sure. Everyone thinks Lemmy Smith. Great guy. Unfortunately, you won't see a signature guitar from Mick Mars or GC Bailey, but if I do, one will be from the No Airplanes tour 1979. You never know what's coming down the run here. Let me see. Daniel says, haha, he thinks he's funny. If you're talking about me, I do think I'm funny. I think I'm hilarious, and I crack myself up all the time. So yeah. And if that's okay, I think. Anyway, that's pretty much the end of the chat, guys. I got there, unless YouTube's going to throw a few more in. But either way, we're out of time. As I said, we're going to skip the live stream next week, and we'll be back for number 99 the following week. And we'll talk about all kinds of things guitar-wise. And then episode 100 will be rolling on the following week. So yeah, so I got to get my big plans in action and see how they come out. I don't know if anything that I want to do is going to happen. Just have low expectations and they will be met, possibly. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this 3 Chord Dave Live, number 98 in the bag. I love you all. You're all my favorite person. Thanks so much for joining me. It's been super cool. I will catch you on the next one. My name is 3 Chord Dave. I'll be back with another guitar related video very soon. But until then, take care.